Welcome to Ashiana, and I had started this series on YouTube, and successfully 102 episode I was about to float. So today is the final journey where I'm taking you, where I'm walking you through Ashiana was the name which was given by my client. So specifically, this is Ashiana Hamara. They wanted the name as Ashiana Hamara, and the flat number is 1001, and it is for the margins. So welcome to Ashiana Hamara. Yeah. Let's begin the journey from the start. So this is the entrance, or this is the entrance paneling, which you see just towards the right and left of me. So the material which I have used for the paneling is a stone veneer. I have used stone veneer because for the main door and the safety door the requirement was to have veneer. So to complement the veneer and breaking the monotony of the wood, I preferred using a stone veneer. I wanted I didn't wanted a uniform design. I wanted to break and I wanted to show the passage as an elevated one. So that is how you see the pattern on both the sides of the wall or the side wall is again an abstract pattern, because since being a stone, there is no uniformity in stone as being a natural material. So that natural flow, I wanted that flow to go extremely well, and that is how you see the different cuttings, or that is how you see the grooves which I have maintained here are not very much uniform. They are in a random form. So this is a stone veneer. For the nameplate, what I have used is white back painted glass with an LED pop. The requirement from my client's end was to have an element of gold in it, because that was what was recommended for them by the neurologist and the Vastu expert as well. So you see the glass crystals here, they are in dull gold, but I didn't want the gold everywhere, because somewhere I felt that would give a loud feeling. So that's how the lettering, the numbering of the flat and the surname is again in rose gold. So that is the journey of the nameplate. Moving ahead, this is again the area which is adjoining the door. So I didn't want a light element here. I had just given one plain light in antique finish above the nameplate, so that even if the nameplate light is off, that light would give a subtle and a very vibrant entry as such. So door, because I had used veneer and because I wanted to symbolize wood, I preferred using a blend of vertical and the horizontal pattern, so that the look of the door on a whole comes magnanimous. So that's how the journey of the door. So it is a blend of grooves which are vertical as well as horizontal. Now for the jali, I have used a dull gold jali or grill, whatever you term. I have used a dull gold, and I have used the pattern which is again in sync with my door and with my back panel as well. So everywhere that journey flows in a continuous form, there is no break as such. So if some of the other things are correlated or some of the other things are related, that is how was the theme which was decided by me and my team. Again, if you see, there is not, I mean, she was in a favor of having some uniqueness for the door. So what you see is an antique which is placed exactly above the door with an antique finish spotlight. The provision of a socket over there is to take care of the CCTV provisioning, which is in due course of time. So I have enabled it in such a way that in future they didn't want the CCTV immediately, but whatever in future, whenever they want they want to go for it, they just have to get the CCTV camera and they just have to plug in. That's it. The entire electrical with regards to CCTV has already been taken care of. The doorbell, I have not used a very fancy switch, because here I have used Legrand series. I mean the next gen Legrand series have been used. So parallel to the same series, this is the doorbell which I have used. Now for this element, I mean for this part of the paneling, she was very keen of having an entry with Om, because that symbolizes peace, that symbolizes strength, and that symbolizes a vibrancy. So that's the journey of this Om. The grill what I have used here is made in HD HMR plywood. I have done a CNC cutting for it, and it's being illuminated with LED at two places. One is in the inside and one is on the outside. The backdrop here, what I have used is again a PVC material which is being finished with deco paint. So this is a deco paint, this also is a deco paint. For the peripheral, I have used profile lighting. Profile lighting is just C shape on purpose because she wanted to make use of this slot to keep some small diyas or any sort of artifacts in the time of festivity or just even on the regular day-to-day basis. She wanted this depth for placing few of the artifacts or candles or whatever as per her choice. Now this is the adjoining area which I had, which has a society. There is a society fire alarm placed here, and fire alarm and fire hose provision is also here. So we were not to hinder with that. We had no plans to alter that. So keeping that as it is, I have just given a small section wherein in case of emergency, if it has to be used, it is completely accessible. The paneling also won't be disturbed, and there won't be disturbance to any of the member accessing that. Now this is again a small diya which she wanted towards the entry and a cowbell, so to mark the positivity and a great presence. The lock which is used in the main door, in the safety door, is an automated lock by Yale. I have already explained the installation of it in my earlier videos. So I have used Yale so that it gives a proper sense wherein you don't have to worry as such. It is a complete secured and a great solution. So now we are going inside the house. So welcome to Ashiana Hamara officially. So I will explain you the journey of the door. For the door, as the same design which I have used in the safety door, the same design continues even from the inside of the outside of the main door, so that is again in there is a continuity for the main door and the safety door. I didn't want it to break that monotony, so that is how this design has been done. There's just a small element which I would like to explain here is the detailing of this grill. So since there is a lot of grill were in such a position where there was an access for this lock, what we wanted to avoid from the safety perspective, we have installed a toughened glass here. So this toughened glass takes care from the security point of view, which is completely nullified from outside. You don't even make it out that there is a glass, but from safety perspective, it's a complete foolproof solution. The beading has done by proper wood, so that in case if you want to change the glass or remove it for cleaning, it comes out to be extremely handier. So let's dwell it. In all my projects, you might have noticed one thing which is common is the threshold. I always insist my client to have a threshold of actual wood, somewhere that is deeply connected in me, and I feel that is like very auspicious having wooden threshold rather than going for a stone one. It is very much, it differs person to person, but asking me, I give them a suggestion, and most of the time it is welcomed by my client. So that is how we have a wooden threshold here as well. The polishing is again matched in such a manner that the door framing and both the doors are again in sync. The hardware which is used for the locks, the automated lock which we are, the lock which we have is again of Yale. So the outdoor lock, and even for the indoor latch, for the main door latch, we have used Yale latch only. Now this handle, since I had a dull gold finish for the jali, I opted to go for the same handle. This is actually a handle which is reused. I had not taken a new handle because when my client purchased this flat, this was the door handle on the earlier door. So she was so much in awe of it that she wanted that to be used. So we had reused it to keep the emotions intact, and this handle is the reused handle. Now the door height, if you see the height which I've maintained here is 7 feet. So 7 feet actually gives a good length to the entire flat, and the framing comes to 7.3, that is 7 feet 3 inches, and rest followed by the paneling. So the laminate which is used here is a rustic laminate. the design element used in the entire house is contemporary and modern, a fusion of contemporary and modern. So rustic laminate was not very much welcomed by my client initially, so they were not too much comfortable. So to make that comfort and to have that rustic, so it was a win-win for both of us with the addition of grooves. So if you see, I have maintained the grooves, the vertical grooves and horizontal grooves. So vertical is 1/4 part of the door and the rest 3/4 is followed by horizontal grooves. So horizontal grooves are 6 inches thick and the verticals are 1 inch thick. So the filler which I have used for polishing is again grey. To get it, to get the blend of the rustic, I didn't wanted that brown pop-up, so I have gone for a grey. We had we had given an option to a client as well for the selection of this. So it was the mutual decision of going ahead with a groove with a grey color. Now the handle again is by KBI and I have used a graphite grey because this is the shade which is going around for the other doors as well. So the handle is very much comforting. It has a very smooth edge here, so that in case of cleaning or in case of access or in case if you're bending down, there are no sharp edges. So to take care of the security front or to take care of avoiding hurts or injuries, I prefer having a smoother finish. And here we have the pop which is actually coming out of the door, but it is giving a different elegance and a different charm to the door in whole. So the door stopper which are used are again magnetic. It is a bell shaped magnetic door stopper which are very much firm, so that even if there are chances when the door is open and there is heavy wind or breeze, so the banging of door is avoided by that when you have a proper and a strong door stopper. So now this is my entrance passage, or this is my entrance foyer. So towards my right there is an MDB box, that is the main distribution box of the electrical. So the position given, the position is intact here. I have usually we don't play around it because that is what the society regulations. I prefer following those norms very much so that it is it is completely hassle proof for us, even as well as for the clients to later on in case of any emergencies, or later on if they want to change anything, or later on if any new electrician is coming, it is easier for him also to access if it is in the same place. So this is the section which has that MDB box, and the rest is again the storage section. I usually there was no scope for me to move it ahead, to move it upwards, so that was the reason we had maintained that height, but the rest area comes into utility. Now here is my shoe rack. So the requirement from my client's end was to have SS304 the shelves for the shoe rack. They wanted specifically of SS, so that for cleaning and even for usually there are in case of rains and for leather shoes and for there are some chances of, if at all it's not that airy, then there are fungal there are sort of places where it becomes a bit awkward to access the shoe rack because of that smell. So just to avoid that, we preferred having this airy kind of structure. I've given some small holes there so that the air gets circulated and the freshness is always maintained. So this was the shoe rack. Again, the shoe rack is on auto hinges, so even if it is open, it will close on its own with a soft close. This is actually a wooden partition. Since I didn't wanted a foam partition, I wanted a wooden partition because it has a functional aspect from the kitchen end as well. So that is how this is wooden. But this part, the part which I'm showing you right now, has an access from outside. So there is a drawer here which is a multi-utility drawer, which is again soft close, and there is a door here. So just to keep newspapers or anything as such, or a toolbox, this could be used. The handles are again camouflage so that it doesn't come in the way of the passage and it gets merged with the design. So it is growing up as the design is growing. For the finishing of this wall, I was very much keen and particular in going for zinc paint, because zinc paint looks very different. It is not the very common texture, it is very uncommon. Secondly, the properties of zinc paint, it has a waterproofing property, which actually being a common passage, I wanted it to be with a material which is completely foolproof. So that's how the zinc paint was preferred here. This is the primary switchboard for the passage, which takes care of all the electrical switches for the outside area and for this area. Now, after the MDB box and after the shoe rack, this was an area which I wanted to highlight with a mirror. This was my client's requirement, that they wanted a mirror in the entrance but not a very big one. So that is how, and they were very much keen of having an oval shaped mirror. So I had placed an oval shaped mirror to have that proper to have that proper shape, you know. I mean, I wanted the shape to grow. So that is the reason, if you see, I have created an arch kind of feeling. This is actually a neoclassical theme. The entire house was supposed to be in the neoclassical theme, but since they were not in favor of having too many arches, I achieved my win-win by giving at least an arch here to give that justice to the oval shaped mirror. So this is an oval shaped mirror. I purposely avoided beveling here because I didn't wanted that beveling to, you know, fiddle in the design over here. So the side wall have again been finished with the zinc paint. For this paneling, I have used the wall paint here, but for the edges, I prefer having laminate because this is the area which is regularly handled. So instead of paint, I wanted sturdier material here. That is how the rustic laminate is placed here. This is again a ledge to keep artifacts, but the top of the ledge you see is a back painted glass, so that it is easier to clean and maintain. So this is how the addition of back painted white glass. It is not white, the shade used here is Soft Whisper by Asian Paint. So this shade takes care of the grey and of the white element as well. So as we move ahead, towards my left you see, this was a requirement from my client's end, that they wanted a glass here, but the glass had to be a frosted one. So since my earlier concept or my earlier design, I actually had a dull gold metal jali, but the length of the passage is huge and the weight of the jali could have been much more. So to cut that, to eliminate that, I had gone for a glass, frosted glass with a blend with a customized design, which is again matching my jali, my grill, which is positioned in the safety door, in the vanity area and even in the puja room, so that it comes with a proper symmetry. The side edging, again I have used proper wood here so that it is completely rounded, so it is very much easier to handle and even to clean. So the passage ends here because they wanted an open kitchen sort of thing. So towards my left is the entry for the kitchen area, but towards my right, this wall is actually a plain wall. I mean, this is a plain wall without any storage element. This was just for beautifying point of view. So since I wanted to have a neoclassical theme, since I wanted to use that arch for the mirror, it was not getting justified if the wall would have been plain. So to cut that monotony, I had preferred having a small archy kind of shape here with grooves, because grooves was the element which is there in my door. So to balance the passage and the design of the door, I preferred having rafters. I prefer having these rafters which are made from HDHMR plywood, that is high density, high moisture resistant. Being the passage area, we didn't wanted to take any chances with regards to the moisture element. So HDHMR rafters have been installed here. The installation video or the making video is also there in my series. So to understand how this all shaped and how the journey began, and this is the end solution. The top finish I have achieved it by paint. I mean, this is just the paint, the shade which is unanimous throughout the living and the dining area. So the shape again is a vertical, a mix of horizontal rafters, curvatures which is going on in the passage area. Again the curvature comes to an end, and again it is again balanced with a proper vertical. So this is the journey of the passage, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you even like the material which I have used. So for the flooring area, I'll be covering this in my kitchen and the living and dining area. Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot of insights with regards to the interest for designing. Do like, comment, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.